Welcome to another exciting review of Winning with People by John C Maxwell. So, in today's review, we are looking at the 101% principle. Yes, 101%. This principle will help you to get along with even the most difficult person on earth. So, for everybody who you meet, who has so many differences, from you in terms of personality, character, beliefs, and so on. Find the 1% similarity that person has and give it your 100% effort. So, in essence, there are some people who will be so different from you, as in you have no reason to agree with them. You have no reason to get along with them, right? But this 101 principle says that there must be 1% of them that is similar to your own characteristics or personality or values or beliefs, whatever. So find that 1%. That is the basis for agreement, and give that 1% 100% of your effort. That means focus on that 1% and not on the differences. Focus on the 1% similarities and not on the differences, right? So the question I must ask myself is this: can I find common ground? And will I give it 100% of my effort? And those people that may be difficult to get along with may not be strangers to you. They may just be your spouse or your friends, your siblings, your colleagues, whoever. They may be people that you have to relate with very frequently. So how do you do it? You don't want to be an enemy to somebody that you're going to be seeing all the time, right? So when do you practice the 101% principle? It is truly remarkable that there are different people on earth. There are some people that you have no reason to agree with because they're totally different from you. So you have to find the common ground with them. Find the one thing that they could agree on and invest their energy in it. So find that similarity, invest your energy in it, use that point of similarity to build a good relationship with them. Right. So before practicing this principle, you need to ask yourself some questions. Number one, is the person worth the commitment? Before you invest all your energy, your time, and everything in making this relationship work, is the person worth your commitment? Every person has worth, but you cannot give every person the time or energy that the 101% principle requires. Before you go a long way to do that, you must be sure that the person is worth it. So who is worthy of this kind of attention? If you're a married person, your spouse is worthy of this kind of attention because you really want to build your home. You want to find a common ground with your spouse and work on that, right? Could be your colleagues, whoever. Number two question, is the situation worth the commitment? Most situations where disagreements occur are short term. So in that case, if the situation is not worth it, tell yourself that this too shall pass. Don't waste your energy on that. Don't waste your energy in making that work. It is something that is transient. It will soon pass away. Then the next question is the issue worth the commitment? What is the issue on ground? Is this something that you hold dear to your heart? Is it of priority or importance to your life? Does it impact on your values or whatever? If it doesn't, think twice. If it does, you can still make it work. Right. Keep in mind the words of clergyman Richard Baxter. He says, in necessary things, unity. That is the things that are important. Find unity. In doubtful things, liberty. You are free to walk away, but in all things, charity. Show love. So you don't have to agree with everybody on everything, right? If you doubt it, if it is against your values, then you don't have to do it. You are free to walk away. There's a story that happened in Nigeria, recently between, sorry if you're not a Nigerian, I just want to gist a little, between our gospel singer, Tope Alabi, and a Nollywood actress, Liz Anjorin. The issue really caused a lot of catastrophe. And some people are like, oh, Tope Alabi really messed up as a gospel singer. Okay, let me give you a backstory. Sorry, please permits me to gist this night. So what really happened, right? Tope Alabi is a gospel singer, and apart from that, she would usually go around to surprise people, maybe on their special occasions. And it happened that somebody reached out to her that they wanted her to perform, to give a surprise performance to somebody, but they did not disclose the identity of this person. So I really don't know how it works that even for Tope Alabi, she did not insist on knowing the identity of this person. But because that has not happened before to her, she may not have thought it to be a big deal, right? That, okay, after it's a surprise, I'm going to surprise the person, and I'm also going to be surprised to know who the person is. And indeed, she was surprised because when she got there, she found that it was Liz Anjorin. And maybe, I'm not sure, maybe her values do not align with the kind of values that Liz Anjorin shared. You see, this is in line with what we are discussing. And so upon discovering who the celebrant was, she turned back and then she refunded the money that she couldn't perform for Liz Anjorin, right? And a lot of people are bashing her. That's, oh, she should have just performed. After all, if it was Jesus, Jesus would have done it. Maybe it's an opportunity to win her soul over to Christ and all of that. But looking at this line here, in necessary things, unity. If it is very necessary, very important, try and unite with the person. In a marital situation, for example, it is necessary that you agree, that you unite with your spouse. But in doubtful things, liberty, you have the liberty to walk away. So Tope Alabi chose to walk away because the same people who are bashing her that, oh, you should have used the opportunity to win her over to Christ, are the same people that will be like, she's singing or performing for somebody who is controversial, somebody who has a contentious character. So if your spirit does not align with somebody, it is not by force. Even God has given us liberty on earth to choose what we want. So you are not Jesus. Jesus could dine with Pharisees and sinners and everything. But if you do not have that kind of strength to dine with Pharisees, to dine with sinners, to dine with people who can influence you negatively, you had better walk away, because their influence may be bigger than your own. You think that, oh, I'm going to win a soul over. I'm going to win his soul over. You are not the Holy Spirit. What if you are the one who ended up being won over? That means their influence is greater than yours. So you had better walk away. And that was what Tope Alabi did. Like, no, I don't want to be associated with this person. I don't want to pass any wrong message across, right? So she didn't fit what she felt she could do. She herself understands why she did what she did. So we should allow people the liberty to choose their path, to make their decisions. You really cannot choose for them. Even God does not choose for us. He has given us the free will to choose. The next question is the return worth the commitment? The return, the reward you are going to get from working on that relationship, agreeing with that person, is it worth it? In the case of Tope Alabi, is the money worth it? Some people said she was paid 2.5 million naira. Some said 3.5 million naira. At the end of the day, will her conscience allow her? Will she not feel more guilty? Will she really enjoy the reward, the money? Right. These are some of the questions. Before you before you work on a very difficult situation, ask yourself, is it really, really worth it? Hope at the end of the day, you don't find yourself regretting your action. Sometimes we want to please people at the expense of our own happiness, of our own fulfillment, right? Which is not worth it. The 101% return, practicing the 101% principle can benefit you in so many ways. Number one, it allows you to build a foundation for change. Maybe you're in a relationship with somebody you want to influence, right? It may be an opportunity to influence the person if you are able to, if you trust yourself enough to be able to do it. But if you want to do that, you will not focus on your differences, focus on your similarities, and then use that as an avenue to make that person change his or her behavior. Number two, it prevents unnecessary conflicts. Why create conflicts if you can avoid it, right? Why do you want to keep making enemies? when you can easily make friends. You really don't even want to have one enemy in this world. If we have a choice, none of us would have any enemy. We just want to get along well with everybody. But I guess that is practically impossible. But as much as it is humanly possible, avoid conflict. So you want to find a common ground with somebody who is difficult to get along with, and then use that to fuel your relationship as to the extent that it is humanly possible. You cannot win everybody over to yourself. That's one thing you should know. If at the end of the day, trying to work on that relationship will pull you down to the ground, then flee. Number 3 benefit of this principle is that it reduces the odds of making enemies. The best way to get rid of a potential enemy is to make him your friend. If you can, use the 101% principle. It's a good way. Number 4, it keeps something of value that could otherwise be lost. How many potentially rewarding relationships have you missed because you focused on differences instead of common ground? How many potential friends have slipped through your fingers? How many productive business associations have you forfeited just because you are focusing on people's differences? If you look at people very, very deeply, you will see that there is still something, that's 1%, that can still be agreed on. So if you want to keep yourself open to potentially rewarding relationships, be prepared to try the 101% principle. That means don't be too quick to discard people. The fact that somebody offends you today does not make the person a bad person, right? I attended a seminar last week, and the speaker was talking about how some people are too quick to block people. Any small thing, you block. Any small thing, you block them. Then you have blocked your potential helper. You have blocked somebody who can turn around to become your best friend. You will end up blocking your biggest client. You end up blocking, a business associate. So don't be too quick to discard people. Just look at them. Give them that benefit of the doubt. We learned about that in a previous chapter. Have some love in your heart, no matter how tiny, for people. After all, we all goof. We all offend people. We all make mistakes. So the fact that somebody just offends you and then you are quick to block them. I don't quickly block people. That's the truth. Before I block you, I would have given you a long rope to pull. It is only when I see that, this person is unrepentant, what you are doing is impacting on my peace of mind, then I block you. But I always give people, a chance, right? Number 5, it helps you to feel good about your part of the relationship. People who look for the worst in others may try to make themselves look better by comparison, but in actual fact, they are not better. They don't feel happy about it. In contrast, people who look for the best and focus on what they agree on can take satisfaction in knowing that they did their part. Even if it didn't work out, you know that at least you gave that person a chance. You tried your best. You tried to make the relationship work. It just did not work out, right? Then this principle enables you to make the best of difficult situations. The happiest people don't necessarily have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. So this 101 principle helps you to make the best of everything. It helps you to see the positive side of things. It helps you not to take yourself too seriously, right? It helps you also not to take people too seriously. Sometimes you complain, oh, this person betrayed my trust. This person disappointed me. What were you expecting? He's a human being. You are a human being. You have disappointed people before. You've broken people's trust before, right? So why are we surprised when people betray our trust? There's a saying that to err is human, to forgive is divine. I always have that saying at the back of my head every time I'm dealing with people. No matter how good, how kind, how nice they are, I don't ever lose focus of the fact that they are human beings and they can turn around, they can disappoint. So when they disappoint me, it was before when I was much younger that I'll be so devastated. Right now, even before you disappoint me, I've given that room that you may disappoint me. You may break my heart. So if you eventually do it, I don't feel so devastated because you're a human being. Who else is going to disappoint us if not human beings? Is it angels? Not God, definitely. Right. Just like Tom. So, like Tom, you remember Tom, the man who would criticize every sermon that John C. Maxwell preached, and he did this for 7 good years. He would go to church on Sunday, listen to the sermon, and then he would write a long epistle of the sermon, marking in red pen all the errors, the grammatical error, the blunders, and everything that was not right in the sermon, and he would send it to his pastor, John C. Maxwell. He did it for 7 years. He was a difficult person to get along with. But John C. Maxwell did what? He looked for one point of similarity between them, and this was the fact that they both adopted their children. John Maxwell adopted his 2 children. This man, Tom, also adopted his children. So John Maxwell focused on that as the 1% similarity. And so he cared so much for his children. He would always love them. He would always talk about them, you know, talk about them. And before you knew it, he was very close to his family. So anytime they were around, he would make sure that the conversation was on the kids, his own kids and Tom's kids. And in no time, Tom became his friend. He didn't have any choice. John Maxwell had not done anything wrong. He was just holding grudges against him because he was not happy that he became their new pastor. He was too attached to the previous pastor. And so he came around, right? And they got along so well. So maybe you have a Tom in your life, someone you've never gotten along with. You easily see all the person's weaknesses and find it difficult to see anything but differences. I guarantee you that you can agree on something. Yes, that something could be just 1%. Look for it. There's something you have in common. Agree on that. Focus on that when you find it. And once you do, give it 100% of your effort. You'll be amazed by the impact it can make. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of today's review. Don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me, and please subscribe to this channel in case you're yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. We'll come again tomorrow by God's grace as we review the patience principle. Before then, let me give you a task. Go and ask yourself. Don't just ask who. Look within and tell yourself whether you're a patient person or not. We'll see tomorrow. Until then, be intentional. Bye-bye. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Exactly. Thank you.